Now we're going to jump to Baltimore. Probably the unanimous MVP. He put out another MVP-type game with 321 yards and 5 touchdowns. I don't even need to say his name. You know who it is. What? And this guy, he's been on the list a couple times.
That's not this last week, dude. That was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god, bro. I'm looking at the wrong pictures.
Hell yeah. Dog of the week, baby.
Yep.
Hold on. How can I explain myself? You said you care for me,
Louisiana, murder on the beat. Something for y'all to cut up to, you know.
Dude, I can do a backflip.
Everybody get your roll on. I know shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man last year like.
Welcome back, Turf Talks, episode number 17, the actual episode number 17, not the phantom episode 17 from last week. Gentlemen, welcome back. Another episode, another week of the NFL in. Guys, how we doing? How we feeling? Thank you guys all for watching. As always, we do have the boys in the house. But yeah, gentlemen, how was the weekend? Good weekend for us or what?
Perfect. It was a perfect weekend.
What made
I'd
it so
say so.
perfect, Spence?
But it started on Monday.
Started on Monday. What are you talking about?
Oh, Michigan
Oh,
is the champs.
there you go. So you're saying your great weekend started just 2 days or yesterday?
I'm a champion. Yeah, I'm a champion.
Okay.
So we're in
Sounds
champ.
good.
Took you this long to join the club?
Oh, there it
It's
is.
not like we haven't won one before.
There's
This
the
is
dig.
19 fucking
Typical
80
Ohio State
fucking
fan.
something.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
where were you?
Not alive. in
Exactly.
1980 something.
Boom.
Man. Well, congratulations to you, Spence, and all of the Michigan Wolverines out there. National champions beat Washington. My college team been riding or dying with those guys for all year.
Defense played phenomenal.
Dude, I mean, I will say, I didn't watch a ton of this game, and I don't want to immediately talk about football because we have to have some kind of a life outside of football, guys. I mean, at least I'd hope
No,
so.
absolutely
But
not.
there's a good chance that we don't. But that was a great game. I mean, overall, I think if anything, they came out, they played. There wasn't this 60-point blowout like it was last year. I mean, like, props to them. Very good matchup, in my opinion. I think it was definitely.
Did you say crops?
Props. Sorry, Trey. I meant to say props. Props to them for a really good matchup between the two. I think number 1, number 2 seed. I think they got it right, in my opinion. I think it was a really good matchup. But yeah, congratulations to you. Congratulations to the Jackrabbits, SDSU there. I'm repping those guys. It's championship weekend, of course, and so the SDSU they back-to-back champs there.
And we're not talking about San Diego State.
No, not talking about the often mistaken San Diego State.
The Aztecs.
We're talking about South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits. Go Jacks, as they say. But yeah, no, I've been a huge fan of them this entire time. Yeah, always been. I think it's literally just like this. Well, what made it such a great weekend for you, Trey? You said it was a perfect weekend. You said, yeah. Was it actually? Or were you
I didn't
just
say it
agreeing
was
with
a
Spencer?
perfect. Oh, because the Steelers made the playoffs.
There you go. We'll talk about it. My God, guys, football. Nothing but football. Can we talk about anything else? besides
I
football?
played a bunch of pool on Friday.
Pool.
Pool.
Was that like at your local watering hole, or was that at somewhere else?
My buddy has a pool table in his garage, so we were just chilling out there, throwing a few back,
Yeah,
surviving.
I don't know if you better.
sounds like a good time.
Me and Dalen got to see Block.
Oh, and it was my birthday this weekend too.
It was
I was gonna say, Trey, why did you just say that?
I don't know. I just remembered.
How old are you officially? Is it what, 19?
15.
Nice. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah.
A happy 15th birthday,
Thanks.
Trey. No, you're like what, 23? You're our age now, finally?
Yep. 23.
Hell yeah. Good for
Our
you.
age,
man.
finally. I'm not even your age yet. Haven't even hit your guys' age yet.
You better
Yeah,
shut that mud up.
me and Wyatt got to see one of our buddies from.
Long lost buddy, let's just say. He
Yeah.
actually just called me right before this pod.
Long
He's
lost.
like, "What you
buddy.
doing?" And I was like, "About to record the pod." He's like, "All right, I'll call you back." I was like, "All right."
An
Big,
avid viewer.
big,
An
big,
avid
big.
viewer.
Big farmer guy.
Big
Farmer guy.
Always
Farmer
Ooh,
ranchers. Does it all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you need them. You need those people.
Oh yeah. Move
Shout
America.
out farmers. Shout out farmers.
Get your egg.
Well, Trey, happy birthday.
Yeah.
23 years old, 23 years young. You're Jordan year. Did you get any Jordans for your birthday?
No.
That's too bad, man.
He sleeps
Maybe-
underneath Jordan. It's his prime now.
It's true. It's true. Never know. Well, hey,
Starting every night.
I had a horrible weekend. I was sick all weekend. You probably can hear my voice. So that was my weekend. My house still smells like sickness, just like a bunch of like,
Down with the sickness.
yeah, like medicine. You know, just that sick smell of like all like the cures that you could use for it. That's what my house smells like right now. Like,
Are they FDA approved?
FDA approved.
Yes, there they are. Yeah, well, hey, good weekend, guys. Well, I don't want to jump into the weekend itself too quick, even though we will talk about the weekend itself really quick about like all the games that happened. A lot of huge games that took place. The biggest thing though is, guys, the football season, the regular season of the 23-2024 NFL season is officially over. We made it. We did it. We made it to the end of the
Crazy,
season
bro.
already, which I agree with you, Dalen.
There's
It's
one team
crazy.
standing.
It's crazy that we've already gotten to the end of the season. I remember this time, I mean, not this time, but like I remember 3-4 months ago, and I'm sitting here and I'm so excited for this season to start. And it was like only a week away or only 2 weeks away. And now I blinked and then the season's over already, guys. Like
Mhm.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
talked about this before in this program, as they would say on other shows. There's something special about NFL football and the fact that you only get so many weeks, you only get so many games throughout the season. And even though it sucks from like a viewer standpoint to only get to watch your team once a week at the most, that's it. You're not going to see them more than once a week. Perform, compete, whatever it may be. And here we are, end of the road. And, you know, it's like every week they kept us on our toes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's, 17 long weeks of this stuff. I mean, we're looking at every single week like it's going to be the best weekend ever of football. And sad to say, it's already coming to an end. But I don't want to like just look about like, let's cry about it. Let's, it's in the past. Let's just, forget about it and wish we all had it back. It's like, let's celebrate the time that we had with our teams, with the football that we got to witness and watch this year. And maybe just kind of reflect on what the hell this year is all about. I mean, that being said, anybody have any like favorite memories or favorite games or whatever it may be from the season itself that you're just like, hey, this is going to be a thing that I remember for a long time going forward?
Overall, just throughout the whole season, just the year of the backups. That's all the
very
backup
true.
quarterbacks, dude.
Yeah. Week
That's just-
17 recap of the year is just backups.
I don't think we've ever had a season like this though. Where there's been so
54
many
backups.
playing. It's
To be
There's
total.
so many.
54 backups in total.
Is
This
that
year.
the total count?
That is, I'm pretty sure that is the total.
Wait,
Dude,
54 total.
That is
backups.
wild.
That was the stat last week.
Which I think, if anything, I'm pretty sure most teams, if not every single team, has had a backup play at least one game this season. So it makes sense if it's at least 32.
Yeah.
But I know Vikings, Steelers, the Browns have had 5 quarterbacks themselves each. So it's like that definitely adds up on
Seahawks.
top of it. We only had
Jameis
2.
made an appearance.
Jameis.
Jameis.
Oh, you
quite a
mean
bit this
just-
season? Just in general, like most
Taylor
teams, like
Heineke?
54
Oh, in general,
different quarterbacks, it makes sense from like a
Yeah, the
number
Falcons
standpoint.
The Rams decided to reinvent Carson Wentz here.
It had a pretty
Yeah.
good game too. of all
Yeah.
things
He
as
didn't
well.
play bad either.
I
He
mean,
didn't play
Who's
bad
the
at
backup
all.
of the year? That's the real question.
You might have to add it in there too.
I
But
have to-
I was
Um,
gonna
Zach,
say,
my favorite game of the year, the
Yeah.
70 piece. I was going back and watching the
What did you say?
episodes, and every single one of us was like, boys, this could be a bloodbath. And then holy shit, 70 to fucking 28 was the.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, we were right about that.
The Dolphins putting up 70 points, which I think is what, second highest or like
Yeah,
first, second ever in
I
the
think it's
70s. I think it's the second highest ever scored. I think there was one team that scored higher for some way somehow. I can't remember who it was, but it was for sure the second team that's ever broke the 70 mark in an NFL game. But like crazy that happened this year. I mean, an NFL team put up 70 points in a game versus other professional athletes that get paid very high amounts of money to do the exact same thing that they're doing too.
Mhm.
Like crazy. Like what else, guys? What else are you thinking from this year? Just like that was so cool that I got to witness that. And it could be biased too. It could be I got to watch the Steelers play every single week. That's pretty cool.
I mean, I think
know,
that
back
it's pretty
in the
crazy
game.
that Justin Jefferson still had 1,000 yards receiving and only
He
played.
missed 7 games.
Yeah,
Or is it
only-
missed 7 games or played 7 games?
I think he
played
missed 7
games.
games. I think he
Missed
missed
8.
because he played 10 games, I think. But like
that's
the
still
fact
insane.
that
No,
you
that's
put-
gross.
yeah, you put up 1,000 yards in what 2/3 of the year, a half of the year practically. Crazy.
960.
I mean-
He's a bum.
That's some people's like great season for them, which it is. I mean, 1,000 yards as a receiver is incredible to begin with, let alone not doing that or not even getting to play in damn near half of your games. Not to mention, he had 5 quarterbacks throwing him the ball throughout the year too, and he still did that shit. Like
dominant.
incredible, crazy.
What do you guys think was
Dale,
like the biggest trade of the year?
Ooh.
Biggest trade?
The biggest trade that happened that
I think
It wasn't
Chase
really-
Young,
We didn't really get a
Like
big trade.
Niners.
before the year
was gonna say-
that started this year.
oh,
I mean, I'm thinking Aaron Rodgers to the Jets and having that whole thing go down. Like thinking like that was the first day of the NFL practically, and we lost Aaron Rodgers, and like that seems like a while ago at the same time, but at the same time it doesn't. Like Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles like 4 months ago, and almost came
He's already
back.
back.
from that shit,
He's
too.
already patted
almost
up.
came back. Like crazy.
I would have said DeAndre Swift to the Eagles, but the last 5 weeks have been not
Yeah.
great.
That
But
was
the first
cool.
10 weeks, DeAndre Swift was balling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy stuff, man.
Son Reddick, maybe?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Or did he get traded, or did he just sign with the Eagles?
I mean, D Hop going to the Titans was kind of a big deal too, right away. I
Or
mean, in a
Roquan.
way, it was, but then
Roquan Smith.
To the
Yeah,
Ravens?
Roquan.
oh, that's a big one. Roquan
Yeah, that
Smith
was
to
a
the
big one.
That guy wasn't even going to get paid by the Bears, dude. What are they doing?
I mean,
He's,
Chase Young,
he's one of the
Chase
best middle linebackers in the NFL right now, dude.
Chase Young to the 49ers just to add on to their
It's
already
true.
set defense.
It's true.
That's a big too.
Crazy. Dalen, was there any like single part of the year that was standing out to you? Obviously, you weren't a part of the. I mean, we picked up Dalen during this NFL season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
That's a big
piece of-
trade.
I mean, for me, I was gonna put a pin on like just the whole regular season to cap us off, but I was just thinking like that's a big difference for me between NFL games and NBA games. There's only 18 NFL games, or 18 weeks in the NFL, and there's 82 NBA games. So like, I feel like there's with the less games, it's like it makes people want to watch every single week. Just because the season goes by so much faster than the
And
NBA.
every
like,
game matters almost. And it's just-
and everyone
It
just
100% does.
everyone
100%
starts
every
watching
single
the
game.
NBA like towards the end, like when it starts getting intense. But like in the NFL, everyone watches every single week because there can be games that just blow up and go crazy.
I mean, for a solid 3-4 months, everybody every single Sunday is sitting on their couch watching NFL football. At least that's what we did for the most part. I mean, like every single Sunday for 3 or 4 months kind of sounds a little bit sad, but at the same time, like I'm watching these games because I only get these games and then I'm off for a good 8 months on top of this. So it's like I got to get my fill in now because I know I'm not going to have this for much longer.
Yeah,
And then people can say,
strictly
oh, you have Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, but it's like not really.
I mean,
it's not the same.
It's true, but like you only get to watch your team once a week. If you're an NBA fan or even MLB, I mean any of the other major sports, you're watching 2-3 games a week sometimes for your only team yourself, not to mention all the other games that are happening too. Like there's so much, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because I like the fact that the NFL is kind of exclusive with that you only get one game, so make sure you tune into it. And I think that's why they crush it on ratings. They get millions and millions of views every single Sunday, Monday, and Thursday because of that. You know,
I'm gonna say there's like no like you said NBA. There's no like NFL. There's Sundays. That's football, and there's like no other like sport that has just like one day that's designated like everybody. That's all they're watching, and this and that is cool.
Well, like they have the NBA Christmas, but then you have NFL Christmas. No one watches
Christmas Eve.
I was just gonna bring up like I saw a ratings thing, and it was like the NFL just blew like about 5 years ago. I'd probably watched like all the Christmas Day games, but like it's totally changed, and I don't think I'm like the only one, because you can tell by the ratings like everyone's watching the NFL on Christmas, and no one's really watching the NBA anymore on Christmas because there's NFL games.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that, Dalen, because I remember back in the day when I was like almost like more of an NBA fan in a way than I was an NFL fan. I always remember, I'm like, oh, look at these Christmas Day games from like an NBA perspective. I wasn't even thinking about anything else, which I don't think there was that many NFL games to begin with on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. But like, that's a huge thing that people are thinking about. It's like, no, I'm watching my team play on Christmas Eve. I think I got to do this last year, or was it Christmas Day, Christmas Eve? One of the two. I got to watch the Seahawks specifically play, which is awesome. So it's like that stuff is so cool, and I think it's a testament to how awesome the sport of football really is. Whether it's every sport has its downfalls. There's always the injury aspect to any sport, whatever it may be. But in general, it's such an awesome game that I think brings us together every week to be able to talk about it and stuff like that too.
Because baseball, they play the same all of the weeks of football in 1 month. Mm-hmm. Then you go on.
That's crazy. Well, on the topic of football, guys, let's at least recap a couple key games that I think really dictated the rest of the season. Even though we're obviously done with the regular season, we do have playoffs coming up here yet too. There's a few games that I want to at least talk about in our weekend recap really quick that are going to go over kind of what that means for the rest of them, I guess, if that makes sense. One thing here to take a look at, the one that kind of set everything off, especially in the AFC side of things, guys, was Titans versus Jaguars. Titans got the major upset over the Jags, which literally brought in the Steelers as a great example. Those guys, you guys didn't make the playoffs unless the Titans come in and wreck the Jaguars and really wreck the entire AFC side of the bracket itself. So huge game there. Titans themselves, like when you're talking about a team that's been just literally there just to wreck things, they weren't necessarily a playoff team a lot. They were like, ruled out quite early in this process.
6-11.
They've been beating teams throughout this entire long stretch at the end just to say, you know what, you're not going. Hey, you want to go to the playoffs? No, you're not going. That's literally what they've been doing the last few weeks. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to those guys. Jump into Packers versus Bears. Another huge game because Packers, they had to win it to make it in. They had a minute to win it. Packers did come out in great fashion. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I will say this. What are you flipping them off for? What are you doing?
Because if the Bears won, we're in. We're going to be.
I apologize. Bears couldn't get the job done. Not saying they didn't have a chance, because the Bears have been a little bit hotter of a team coming into this final stretch here from where they started. But they didn't have a chance when they had Jordan freaking Love on the other side of the field. Jordan Love, guys, we talked about them at the beginning of the season. He had one good game, maybe two good games, or I should say decent games. And we're like, oh my gosh, is he the next Brett Favre? Is he the next Aaron Rodgers? And we're like, let's relax. Let's put a pause on that, because he doesn't deserve that type of immediate comparison. Let the guy just be Jordan Love for a little bit and find his way. I'm sitting here, end of the season. No, I think they just struck again. They literally just hit another home run.
They did the same thing. I saw something that showed the stats that literally show Jordan Love's comparisons to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers in their first season starting, and it's just crazy. They just got another.
Is it the Packers? Is it just their scouting department that goes, we only select Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and then they did it 3 years in a row, or I think three decades in a row, pretty much.
The big
What's
thing
that?
is sitting for a couple of years.
That's
Let
true.
him watch behind someone that's been great, like in front of him. Like obviously, Aaron Rodgers, best quarterback of all time. Brett Favre is just a gunslinger, so Aaron gets to learn things off like what not to do in certain situations, but also how to throw just absolute darts down the middle of the field. And I think Jordan Love has
Darts.
picked up
Fucking darts.
Dude, Brett Favre.
What happened to Garoppolo then?
For real.
What do you mean? Well,
It's true.
Garoppolo
I
was
mean,
winning
that's
with
what
the
I was gonna
Niners,
say.
and he just wasn't winning now.
I was literally just going to say that, though. I think there's definitely a lot of truth in that, Wyatt, that sitting behind a great quarterback is going to rub off on a player. And I think it showed a couple times in history of it. It's definitely shown in the Green Bay Packers facility that Aaron Rodgers got to sit behind Brett Favre. And then Jordan
Brett
Love
Favre
got to sit
got
behind
the
Aaron
behind
Rodgers.
McCown, or not McCown, Magic, what's his name? Yeah, he's blind. He won a Super
Magic
Bowl.
Johnson?
No, with the Bears.
He's not
but-
blind. He has HIV.
Or Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
That's it. Part owner, though.
Anyways,
Wyatt.
but
Part
like
owner.
Brett Favre had a good mentor though before him too. That's
What the
I'm
fuck are
trying
you,
to get at.
blind?
That makes sense.
Yeah, well,
He's
I mean,
yeah,
blind.
he's
you look
sort
at
of
it-
half blind, but
You look
he always
at it
was wearing
again. I mean,
sunglasses.
you talk about like sitting behind a great quarterback. I mean, look at Mason Rudolph now. I mean,
Okay,
fuck.
dude. Okay, dude.
Okay, well, to end my thought on this though, guys, to sit behind a great quarterback, it completely doesn't it's not a direct correlation to now you're also going to be great. You have to have some talent, and I think it's showing so well within Jordan Love's game. Jordan Love is literally, I wouldn't say he's the same because Aaron Rodgers, I would say by far, not even a question, has the best arm in NFL history, can make every throw, has a great arm.
Best quarterback.
Power to begin with, but his release and his way he can throw the ball is ridiculous. We've
I
never
didn't say
seen that before.
Greatest winner. I said greatest quarterback.
But look at this though. Jordan Love has got that same weird sidearm sling in, back foot off like kilter. I mean, like he's
That
doing
touchdown.
Learned
the
it from
same
somewhere.
stuff that Aaron Rodgers is. And it's like that's not something that you just sit behind him and he goes, "Oh, that's how you throw a ball off of one foot leaning the other way," sidearm. Like that's not something that you can just pick up. You have to have that built into you. And so like Packers, they have a type. They have a type of quarterback that they're looking for. And hey, it's done them very well in the last 3 decades, to be honest with you.
kind of
They've got the
crazy
formula-
to me.
They've got the Krabby Patty formula over there.
It's true.
You know,
It's true.
What's kind of crazy to me, like with the Packers, it's not just Jordan Love this year. Like it's their young receiving core that has grown so fast in such a short
Jalen
amount of
Reed.
time. Like to be able to give him Jordan Love weapons to throw to downfield, short, tight ends. It doesn't matter who he's throwing to. He has so many weapons. Like this last game, he had 5 guys that were just going that he was targeting all the
Romeo
time.
Dobbs and Christian did not play that game. Romeo Dobbs left in the first quarter.
could you
That's
imagine if he
crazy.
had like a premier receiver or like a premier weapon other than these backup
Yeah.
receivers that are just they have to
That's
keep
what I'm saying.
reshuffling in there. Like, I mean,
Like,
Dontavian Wicks, like who? Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like
which good for them that they have a ton of young guys that are all cheap, that all I would assume are kind of in that same boat of we're just going to do whatever we need to do to get better to win for this team. There's no, I wouldn't say there is any like personalities. There isn't any like egos in that room. They're all just dogs that want to get better. And they've done nothing but that this entire year, which is so cool to see that, Jordan Love has been able to find success. There's a lot of question marks around them last year with Aaron Rodgers of being, obviously a better quarterback, but like, dude, they're looking very good this year, in my opinion, and Jordan Love is slinging that rock. I mean, Tucker Kraft, the homeboy here in South Dakota, he's also coming out of nowhere too when he's been able to actually play. He's having some pretty good games himself. I mean, nothing crazy, but like he's being productive. He's adding to the team. He's making big plays when it needs to be done. I mean, that's also kind of cool to see another SDSU alum get shout out. I mean, South Dakota State might be the new Titan University. Dallas Goddard, now Tucker Kraft. Never know.
I don't think so.
Never
I don't
know.
think you can beat them Iowa
I'm
from
just
that. I
kidding.
mean,
We won't be- No, we would not be able to beat Iowa yet. That's for sure. Iowa's
But,
tight.
Yeah, that is true though. That is a good point, Zach. Tucker Kraft definitely has stepped up when they asked him to, when they needed him to. He stepped up and he's showing out. He's doing what he needs to do for the team.
Yeah. But Packers Bears, obviously the Bears season is done. Packers get punched their ticket. Packers winning also kicks off the Seahawks, so rip us. But we didn't deserve it anyway. So hopefully,
And then
Packers can do something.
the Bears get first round pick right now.
They do.
And the
Yep,
number
they
one overall
have
pick.
Carolina's number 1 overall pick. So there's going to be a lot of question marks with them of what they do coming in the future. Is it going to stay with Fields? I feel like a lot of team people in Chicago are like, keep us. We love Fields. We love you. We want you to be our quarterback for the future. I don't think it's a bad move, but at the same time, what do? I mean, you have the number 1 overall pick. I know there's a lot of teams that want a quarterback and need a quarterback. I don't think they're necessarily afraid to sell at the farm to get that number 1 overall pick from them. Same time, though, the Bears, what do? What if you just pick up Marvin Harrison Jr. if you're going to stick with Fields? What if you go off of him and go with Drake May or Mike Williams? Caleb Williams, like what could it be? I think there's a lot of question marks. Last year, set in stone, we knew it was going to be a quarterback. That's it. This year, we don't know if it's going to be a quarterback or not with the current standings of who's.
My only thing with Justin Fields is like, what is this? His 3rd year in the NFL?
3rd or 4th? I think it's 3rd. I think.
Granted,
it's 3rd.
yeah, he's never really had like any like big time weapons. I mean, this year he had DJ Moore, but like,
Who's a dog?
he really hasn't done. No, DJ Moore is one of the most slept on receivers in the league, probably. But like, what has Justin Fields done?
You're not wrong. He's had a lot of inconsistencies. They're going to blame a lot of things, whether it's his line, whether it's his weapons that he had before DJ Moore. I mean, there's always been an excuse with him. It's kind of like you guys and Kenny Pickett. There's always been an excuse to say Kenny Pickett might not be that bad because he has a lot of other weak spots on his team that doesn't help him. I agree. So it's like, what do? Do you kind of skip on the year where you have the number 1 overall pick in a loaded quarterback class and give him another chance? Or do you just say, nope, we can't do it anymore. We have to just get a guy that we think has a higher potential than even you do.
Because what could you get for Justin Fields is the question. Could you get like
probably
maybe
quite a bit?
Could you get maybe another number 2 receiver or running back or tight end or some lineman for him? You know,
I think
and
it
then
depends
you
on which
still have the
team.
number 1 pick, and you can pick Caleb Williams, Penix, whoever you want. You know,
if I'm the Chicago Bears, you're in a beautiful spot. Whether you're sticking with Fields or not, you're still going to get a bag for the number 1 overall
and
pick.
They still have another top 10 pick.
Yeah. No, they have what, the 9th? No, they
Or
have
the
like
15th?
the 5th pick. No, it's even higher than that, isn't it? Didn't they have like the
No, because I think they were winning,
thought it
so
was
that their
9.
pick went
They
backwards.
finished the season 7-10, so like they got
Yeah,
like
so I think they're at like
either 15 or 16.
10 to 15.
I think
they're in
we're
the 10 to
15 right now.
range.
Seahawks are 15, I think, right now. We ended 9-8.
So they should be a little less than that.
They might be 10 then.
Yeah,
10
I
or
think
something,
it's
but
still
still,
close
either
to
way.
top 10. 2 top 10 picks in the first round is crazy. I mean, that's incredible. But yeah, I digress. That's that game. Another one that was huge. Bills versus Dolphins. Bills get the huge win here, guys. Crazy the fact that the Bills, if they lost this game against the Dolphins, they were out of the playoffs completely. But because they won, they're the number 2 seed in the AFC. So it's like,
Well, also,
wild that
Hey,
there's that big
all
of a
right,
jump.
so sorry to
the
interrupt
Titans
you.
also saved them also.
The
Yeah,
list
I mean-
is out. So this is the list. Bears got the number 1 pick. Washington has the number 2 pick. New England has the 3 pick. Arizona has the 4 pick. Los Angeles has the 5th pick. New York has the 6th pick. Tennessee has the 7th pick. Atlanta has the 8th pick. Chicago has the 9th pick.
So 2
Jets
top
have
That's what
10.
I
10.
thought. I thought they had 9.
Does Seattle have 15?
Yeah, no, they had the 16th. Colts had the 15th.
Damn it. We're not picking anybody this
Saints
year.
got the 14th. And then the Steelers were waiting. We'll
Caleb
wait and
Williams,
see.
baby.
But we got the 2nd pick, boys.
That's crazy. Hopefully you guys don't trade down. But all
Why,
right, well, we can
why
get
is just
going with?
hoping he's getting Marvin
I know,
Harrison, bro?
we
He's just-
I mean, to be honest, Wyatt, it doesn't make sense for you guys to pick a receiver. It makes more sense to pick a quarterback or even maybe some other lineman or something crazy like that. I mean, I don't know.
I just want Marvin.
Marvin.
I mean, that's a once in a lifetime. I mean,
you
he's
never
the
know.
best.
You never know how the offseason shakes out. Maybe you trade
know.
McClure. Maybe you trade Curtis Samuel. You know,
There's
you never
going to
know.
be movement within the draft order itself, so I'm not even going to speculate on what it looks like until later this spring when it happens in April because, like, there's going to be drafts and trades of the order itself. But Bills and Dolphins, Bills get the win here. Obviously, Dolphins are still in the
If we
playoffs.
pick Caleb Williams,
right back.
Dude,
All right, you're right. I didn't want to talk about anything else anyways.
Talking about,
All right. And then obviously the Steelers got in because they beat the Ravens and Tyler Huntley, but also because the Titans again beat the Jaguars in the back end.
Hey, but the Steelers did have to win. They did have to win.
The Steelers did have to win. They did have to at least hold up their one.
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, but we did it.
And it was terrible weather.
Yeah,
terrible.
We made it.
Weather. I agree.
It was. But
I said earlier in the year. Sorry. I said earlier in the year, if we make the playoffs, it's a W season. So it's a W season.
There you go. You guys won. You guys are winning.
And I know we don't want to talk too. I don't know. I know we don't want to talk too much about these games right now, but the one big thing for the Steelers was Najee Harris had his first, which blew my mind, his first 100-yard games back to back. He hasn't had one all season.
This season, yeah, probably.
This season, yeah.
All right.
3 seasons in a row, Zach.
Good for you. All right. And that brings us last game that briefly talk about, even though you mentioned it, Spence, the Saints couldn't make the playoffs, but what? But what, Spence?
I mean, my Super Bowl was Sunday, and my other championship was Monday. My Super Bowl on Sunday, we shit on the Falcons, and I said I cannot lose to the fucking Falcons. We did once, but we shit on them so bad that they fired their head coach.
Yeah,
they did what?
Yeah.
They did what?
They fired their motherfucking head coach.
They did what is the name of our next segment, guys, which is going to be they did what to that team, as in what the heck happened, a lot of the firings, and I think they call it Black Monday officially in the NFL world, of like all the firings of the head coaches right after the season gets over. Next day, see ya, sorry, you're out of here. Our first, we're talking about Artie Smith, the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, was let go. I think isn't his dad part owner of the team or something like that?
No, he's the
His
owner.
dad's rich as hell. His dad's rich as hell. I know
His
that.
dad started FedEx.
His dad started FedEx. Well,
yeah.
The Falcons said, we don't want your FedEx anymore. We're going to go to UPS instead, because they fired Artie Smith. I think very deserving.
Shit ass out.
This guy was
Amazon
notorious
Prime,
for in his first NFL season as a head coach. He decided to not use one of the best and most talented and diverse tight ends in the game in Kyle Pitts for a good chunk of the season, and also didn't use their high pick in Bijan Robinson, who easily should have had the best rookie running back season, potentially best running back season of anybody in this year, but they didn't use him. Which is so wild. He was healthy. And it's like, dude, you wasted a guy's whole rookie season, and this guy could have had an incredible season if you gave him the ball. Am I missing anything else of why this guy got fired?
Coordinator, though.
There's Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan right there, and then you have Desmond Ridder, which I already went over Desmond Ridder this year. That's another thing I won't forget. And your defense is it was like number 4 at one point. And then your offense can't put anything. And he's calling offensive plays, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he is.
I thought he was.
Doesn't matter. The fact that he allowed his best players not to get the ball is bad enough as an NFL head coach, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of fans out there that were not fans of Artie Smith, even in the Atlanta, Georgia area. They were like, yeah, no, this guy's not it. I can tell you that right now. And I mean, they got rid of him after one season.
Because he shaved his stash.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many teams that you look at and you're like, why did they just fire this guy? But like the Falcons, I think that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, they hit it on the head with this one. Like clearly, I think the answer is yes, though, because I think there was a lot of speculation about him and his decision making and his ability to coach a team. I mean, if it wasn't as out in your face as some coaches are, I think there definitely was. If there's a conversation about him, if he's a valid coach, then he probably isn't a valid coach, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but we're thinking like they went 2 games, 3 games, 4 games wins. No, they had 7 and 10, and they were 3rd in the division, which our division was pretty much tied with those 3 teams the whole time.
you got to remember they didn't have a quarterback.
They didn't
Ritter
have
is not it. Heineke's not it. I mean, it's tough to win in the NFL
True.
without a quarterback.
It's true.
And also, they had Tyler Algier, who did rush for 1,000 yards in his rookie year himself. I mean,
rookie year, yeah. I was gonna say
yeah,
that.
but you can't draft Bijan as high.
I
as
know,
you did
but
and
that's the
not
thing.
use
That's
him.
what you get for drafting Bijan that high. But then, we have this also rookie last year that ran
Yeah.
for 1,000 yards. I mean, like, why?
It's tough.
It didn't make sense to me drafting
I
Bijan
mean,
there.
if you
But,
want to talk
I mean,
about,
it's hard
Not
not
very
to.
available, Trey. That's what
I know. I was going to say it's hard not to. It's hard not to draft Bijan there, though. So
I know. I will say this: what doesn't make sense, and like you're saying, like, I don't know if it's fair enough to fire Artie Smith because they had a decent season. It wasn't like they were, the Carolina Panthers that won 2 games this entire season. Let's look at the Tennessee Titans. They had a 6-11 team this year. Not a great showing. Report today, literally later this afternoon, like hours before we were recording today.
Basically noon.
Yeah, like at noon. I mean, like it was, I think, around that time, I think. Even actually a little bit later, I thought. But regardless, doesn't matter. The fact is, they fired Mike Vrabel. The Tennessee Titans fired Mike Vrabel. Fired. Wasn't saying they parted ways. That, Mike and I just talked about it, and they said, no, it's probably not for us anymore. No, they fired his ass. Like, this guy is the scum.
They got to pay him.
They're the scum of the pond. And they said, no, we're not. We literally can't deal with this guy for another day. Fire his ass. To me, I think a lot of other teams, as in every single other team in the NFL besides maybe a couple, are rejoicing in the fact that Mike Vrabel is now on the auction, and this guy is one of the best NFL coaches in the NFL right now. I know why. You already said this before. You're like, dude, bring him on over. You guys
you
obviously
can come over to Pittsburgh.
Kinda
You
have
can come back to
a-
Pittsburgh if you wanted.
a two for one here, Wyatt. You guys obviously fired Ron Rivera on Monday as well, which I think was
As
expected.
though.
Ron Rivera is old. He doesn't want to coach anymore. It looked very obvious too.
He beat
so I
cancer.
think-
He just can't beat a team in the NFL.
Pretty
Whoa.
much.
We didn't know what week we were in, by the way. I thought it was week 8.
Yeah, like this guy, he's not. He just wasn't there. He used to be a really good coach. Not take it away from his career, even as a player.
Carolina.
He was a great coach in Carolina. I mean, he brought a team to the Super Bowl.
That was
but
damn near 10 years ago.
yeah, he's not that guy anymore. He's not that guy, pal, anymore.
You're not that guy. Coach.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
You're not that guy.
What do we think about the other old man?
Which
You guys
one?
know what I'm talking about?
Bill?
Yeah.
Bill.
You can't say that about Bill.
Belichick.
What's that? Bill Belichick? There's been a lot of stuff. I think it's looking more likely that he's going to come back because they've already met with him and Robert Kraft a couple times now. So it's like, I think it's if they would have done
It the other
something.
way.
Really? I've seen stuff where they're
It's a
acting.
long shot.
Oh, really? Never mind then.
It's just gonna be like one of those things. Like,
Ian
You're not
Rappaport
gonna
texted me
fire
this earlier
him.
today, so I don't know.
I mean, never mind then.
I don't know. I've just been hearing that it might be a long shot for them to come back because if Bill's not going to get the GM role, I don't think he's going
He already has it.
But so do we
He already
think?
is GM.
He
Because
just, but if he just wants to be
they're
GM
not going
only.
to continue with him being the GM and the head coach.
No, I think he's just going to be GM, not head coach.
Do you think he's just gonna leave though?
Which
Just
No.
you think
Yeah,
he's-
it's gonna be like a parting ways. They're not gonna fire him.
No, but do you think he's not gonna coach anymore?
No,
Well,
he's
the
going
things-
to coach. He's going to get the most wins as a coach.
well, I was gonna say
think
he's
he's only a
definitely
season.
he's right there to be able to still get.
I think it's 10 wins.
Yeah,
Do
so I
you
mean
think-
he's close to still getting the all-time wins record. So I
So he's
think he
not
wants to at
he's
least
not
get
gonna-
that.
Yeah.
So what I was getting at is he's not gonna want to go to a different team and be like a D coordinator or offensive coordinator.
No, he's going to be a head coach.
He wants to be a head coach.
Yeah, it's a difference. It's a unique spot for sure in Patriots world. I think for them, if anything, Mike Vrabel being fired today makes the decision a lot. I think because I think Mike Vrabel has been very open about how he wants to be able to coach back in New England. I mean, he's a Patriots guy. Like he is one of the old guard Patriots that they always talk about in that building and stuff. Like, oh, you gotta be like Vrabel, like he would be a perfect fit, I think, in that world. And the fact that he is now available, I think there's a lot of like, hey, that might be made their decision. Like, Bill, I'm sorry. You can either be a GM or you can leave, or maybe not even that. Like, hey, you're just gone. You never
It'd be
know.
more or less him be the head coach and not the GM. I think.
I think Bill Belichick, if he's not the head coach there, then he's not going to be there, because it makes no sense for him to
He
want to
already
get
is
the record.
GM though. He just say the GM.
No, he's not going to want to stay the GM. He wants the all-time coaching.
Yeah,
wins.
he's going to want to be a coach somewhere. So
I don't
know.
He's going to
He ain't
head coach
gonna
for at least
leave
a
New
season or
England,
two.
I think he might.
Robert's literally that guy that's gonna be like, all right, we're gonna keep him on until he gets it, and then we're gonna move him up again.
Yeah, because Chargers, they fired their head coach right this year.
Yeah,
Yes,
Vince
Yeah,
Bailey.
he ain't getting a
was
job
gone
anywhere, bro.
4 weeks ago.
He ain't getting a job anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's
No.
done.
He's going back to college.
yeah. If
like,
that,
he's like Matt Rule or whatever his name was. That guy coached for.
Whoa. Matt Rule was put in a terrible situation. He's actually a very good coach. I just think
He
when
coached for them
Well, what
for
about
like
when,
6 games.
I
He had to
understand.
go-
I
Michigan-
think
what about
David
Michigan's
Tepper
coach,
is a
Harbaugh?
fucking lunatic.
It's true. Jim Harbaugh, he might be up for a spot somewhere.
Ain't that rumors that he's gonna try
I
to
mean,
jump back
he
up
does
to the
have
NFL?
it. He does have it made pretty
There was
well.
rumors last year he's going to check out.
He loves Michigan. He
Well,
loves.
he just won his national championship. He proved everything he had to now.
I think he'll stay there.
It's true.
I think he'll stay there.
I think he likes it better.
I mean, I'm thinking that from like a Seahawks perspective. I'm ready for us to move on from Pete Carroll. So I mean, like, I wouldn't be
dude,
against
Pete's
us.
gonna croak before he gets out of that
Yeah.
that gum situation. Those
Dude's 80 years
He's
old.
gonna get some goddamn lockjaw.
He is literally, I don't know. That guy has to have an iron jaw, like absolute, like that. You know that video.
You
of,
think
like,
he
that
could take a punch
pad?
from Mike Tyson?
100%.
He probably could.
100% he could. If you want to see a prime Mike Tyson and Pete Carroll go up against each other, Pete Carroll's taken at least 40 like straight punches to the jaw before he even like gets knocked back a little bit. This guy's got an iron chin.
He's not even taking that step back. He's just
This
staying.
guy
Those jaw
is the-
muscles are just insane.
This guy's the Crimson Chin from the Fairly Odd Parents, dude. That you guys know what I'm talking
And it's
about?
like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
the red guy.
That's Pete Carroll. That's Pete Carroll.
I mean, like, and those pieces of gum he's chewing are like goddamn
Yeah,
that
they're-
big around, dude. And then he just spits them out in the middle
He's
of
just got like 4 of them. He just mashes them together. All right, let's go.
He's chewing, then he goes
Do you
up and
think-
spits, and it's like that size of
There's
thing
got to
just
be a
comes out.
guy on the fucking sideline for
He's
you
like
guys
picking it
that
up.
just his
It's like,
job is
damn
to
it,
make
Pete,
sure
you
that
dropped
they got
your
a
gum
pack
again.
of gum.
dude,
Yeah,
imagine
Guys are walking around.
Every time he spits it out.
every time we're on PlayStation, you can hear someone eating. Imagine Pete Carroll on the headset the whole time. You just hear the
Their
whole
OC,
time, dude.
It's like,
The whole time.
damn it, Pete.
Pete, mute your
What
mic.
the fuck's going on out here?
The B to
Hey,
the
Pete,
open
can you?
left laser on hot. All right, Brett.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
Anyways,
All right, moving on.
Best
we should
quarterback in the
fire
league,
his
though.
ass.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, he's a pretty good coach there. Well, regardless, there's a lot of firings that took place just literally yesterday and today. We're gonna have more that come up in the next few weeks here as well. We'll keep you guys updated on all that stuff as they come about. I actually want to talk about our end of the year awards. So every single year we have these awards that the NFL gives out to a few different people. We have the coach of the year, comeback player of the year, defensive rookie, offensive rookie, defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, and then finally our MVP. And so every year the NFL and a lot of other teams get a chance to vote on these. We are going to just kind of quickly debate about who we think are going to be each spot. And, we're going to say, who's our coach of the year? Who's going to be our MVP of the NFL? We've talked about this stuff a little bit too, so we don't have to necessarily do a ton of deep diving and that kind of stuff because we've talked about these. But let's start off, guys. Our kind of mini award ceremony / who do we think? Coach of the year. Now, when you're thinking of a best coach this NFL season, a lot of times they like to give it to the guy that had the best record, which I don't think is necessarily the best example of who is the coach of the year. Who are your guys' initial thoughts? Throw out some names who you guys think, your opinion, should be
Nico
coach of the
Ryan.
year.
Kevin
Campbell.
Stefanski.
All right, let's go one at a time. You said D'Amico Ryan, Trey. D'Amico Ryan for the Texans. Very solid. Anything to say about why you'd say he'd be a great coach of the year candidate?
I mean, the Texans were like down in the dumps. Now, playoff team. Won their division.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean,
Rookie
in 1
quarterback
year.
too.
1 year.
He's definitely
One
a
year.
rookie
Very.
quarterback.
Not even just a rookie quarterback, just their whole team in general is just young. And he did that in 1 year.
Yeah.
Turned it around completely. I mean,
Definitely is a player.
I feel like it should be pretty obvious. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think so. Dalen, who'd you have for your
I
first
think
year?
Dan Campbell just because of they haven't won their division in however long.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a pretty big thing, and it's more like a 2-year thing. He went when he went there his first year, the team was just like the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
It just took him a few more years to.
But this is just coach of the year, not coach of the 2 years.
Okay, well he's still
He still had a great season. I mean, they're a high seed in the NFC. They won their division for the first time in 30 years. Like, that's pretty great. So I think Dan Campbell is going to probably be a crowd favorite, to be honest with you, just because he's kind of a big character kind of guy too. But I like Dan Campbell. Why? Who'd you have up there?
I'm gonna go on a little bit of a monologue here, but Kevin Stefanski for the Browns. I mean, what he's done with 4 different starting quarterbacks, losing Nick Chubb week 3 against the Steelers, and
Was it week 2 even? I think it might have been week 2. I think so. But
and then like for the defense to be a top, I think they were the number 1 defense overall, like all year long. I mean, just absolutely just been dominating on both sides of the football. And then just Joe Flacco coming off the bench, just absolutely just, I mean, he's thrown, what is it right here? I have it right here. Sorry. I mean, for 5 games, 1,600 yards, 130 yards downfield a game. And then he's averaging 323 total yards per game, which is insane. And this team is 11-5 as a 5th seed with 2. I mean, obviously re-signing Kareem Hunt, big free agent re-signing to replace Nick Chubb, and everything about this team, and they've just done it right.
Yeah, I think Kevin. How do you say his last name? Sorry, Stefanski. Ooh, now he's French. No, I think if anything, he definitely should be on that list too. I think didn't he win it a couple of years ago too, when they kind of had their first resurgence. He wasn't the Minnesota head coach though.
Yes, he was.
He was their offensive.
He won it with the Browns their first year, I think.
He was their
offensive.
Yeah,
last year.
He was their offensive coordinator. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-mm.
I'm pretty sure he won it when they beat the 2 years ago. I think he won it when he was like the Browns' first-time head coach.
Promise he was their offensive coordinator, but it doesn't matter. Great suggestions. Spence, are you a Dan Campbell guy? Or do you think for your coach of the year?
I think he
Dan
might
the
have been
motherfucking man. Yeah.
Dan the man? What man? No, I think Dan Campbell might be the runaway winner for this. He's kind of got my vote personally, just because I think
runaway. I think all 3 of these coaches we've said
I agree. Yeah, don't get me wrong. All of them are very valid. Should be in the conversation.
Exactly, was an offensive coordinator. You're correct.
Nice. Gotcha. But yeah, no, I mean, I think coach of the year. It's one of those that doesn't get talked about a lot. I feel like, but I mean, in reality though, that's such a huge accomplishment because D'Amico Ryan, I mean, even Stefanski too. Those guys don't have the craziest record in the NFL either. I mean, obviously the Lions are up there a good ways too, but I mean, the fact that I mean, it's still a good season, but it's not like they're 17-0, like they're so good. It's like no, it doesn't have to be an undefeated team to be a great coach. And I think
the one thing I'd say,
a couple of those.
Sorry to cut you off.
Stefanski won it in 2020, by the way.
I was going to say, I think he won it.
But the one thing is Stefanski's calling plays, and I just think that's a lot harder as a head coach for when you're calling plays instead of just I mean, obviously D'Amico's calling the defense. Don't get me wrong. That's tough as well. So I'm not going to argue that. But, I think that just adds to the resume a little bit more.
If you're an active head coach that does something directly, like Bill Belichick, defensive guy. I mean, he's calling the defensive plays. Like, that's his thing. So, I mean.
Coach of the year last year?
It wasn't it somebody kind of weird? Not weird, but it was kind of like a
Eagles,
was it Giants guy?
It was Sirianni.
Brian Dable?
It was Giants guy. It was Giants guy.
No, it was Dable.
Dable won it? Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. What a fall from grace.
Because they were I
don't think he ever did.
In the playoffs.
Giants made the playoffs last year, and the Giants coach got it.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, Dable got it.
which very deserving. But I mean, like this year, it's like, wow, now they suck, and now like is Dable the problem?
Yeah.
It's like it just shows you how quickly people are easy to turn on or NFL coaches. Which, hey, they don't deserve as
I
much.
think it's obvious who's the problem there, Zach.
Yeah,
It's not
no,
him.
I agree with you. All right, comeback player of the year, and I'm not talking about why it's gamer tag. We're talking about, we're talking about the player, and this has kind of been a little bit controversial. Of like, what does this mean? Is it coming back from injury? Is it coming back from not being very good or even being a backup for many years and then playing again at a high level like Gino was when he won it last year? I like to look at it as both. I think it's what's most relevant. I do like to think, or not to like to think this, but I think they should look more at, did they actually come back and play? You know what I mean? Because I say that because
I feel like
think
that's a shot at someone.
it's not a shot. All I'm saying is,
Well,
is
that's my vote.
Damar
The four
Hamlin.
plays he got in all went bad. He had a pass interference. He gave up a
Yeah.
touchdown.
Dude, the dude almost died on a field. and
I
came
don't
back
care. The
next-
4 plays he
Oh, he
played
didn't
this
almost
season
die.
were
He
ass.
literally
What are you
did.
talking about?
I know. So
Literally
Four plays,
obviously,
there's
No,
a
it's
reason
still-
why he
It's still
We're-
insane.
point like
we're
this then.
we're talking about obviously Damar Hamlin. Damar Hamlin, this is the most set in stone award that's going to happen on the award ceremony. They're going to give it to Damar Hamlin because he did literally die on the NFL field end of last season. Plays for the Bills. I think it was a cornerback, safety, whatever he is.
Yeah.
Regardless, he's played 4 total downs this entire year, which again, it's not a dig at him. It's not a dig at anything like that. It's just like, I think there are some teams and some players out there that like look at, I think, as a Joe Flacco. Not that Joe Flacco is going to want this award. Gino came out and said, I didn't like the fact that I won. He goes, what? I sucked apparently. I never sucked. I was good. Wasn't given my opportunity. So like, there's a lot of things that like players could also take this the other way too. I like to look at it as who gave the most impact when they weren't giving an impact to a team previously. I know it's used for a lot of, do they come back from injury? I think that is the initial thought of this award. But at the same time, like, you're just like, oh, we're awarding guys that had to get injured to even receive an award. It's still a good recognition. This one's a very extreme injury. I mean, the guy literally died. And so
Exactly, that's my
I just
point.
don't-
Like, why would
not
Joe
pulling that
Flacco want
award
it, or why would they want to give it to Joe Flacco?
I don't think that's the thing. It's
Obvious
the players.
person.
The players don't want it if they just came back from not playing
I
as much as
feel
they
like
used
a comeback player of the year should be someone that got injured and came back and played.
to. Alex
Just-
Smith
But
I
I-
think, was a good example. Alex Smith a couple of years ago, the guy literally like destroyed his leg, came back, played a
Also
couple
took it to
games.
a 500
Carson
record.
Wentz got one too, didn't he? When he hurt his,
I
Did he?
don't think he did.
I don't know if he ever won.
I personally just don't think
He might
that
have.
like Joe Flacco. Okay, he's played 5 games.
That's the thing too. He's only played literally like the back half of the season. That's it.
But he's averaging 323 passing yards a game.
I don't
True.
care what his stats are. I mean, he didn't play the whole year, dude. I mean, the dude's hot. I can't say that he's not hot, but who said, oh, he's going to play that good the whole year?
Touchdowns.
How many interceptions though?
9.
he's statistically he's not. He's slinging the rock. He's not necessarily
Oh,
super accurate, but
Comeback
I mean,
player
He's
of half the
accurate.
year.
It's just that he has 1 or 2 slip ups a game.
all
Well, when
I-
you throw it that much, I mean, it's like baseball. He's batting 800.
It's a done deal. I don't think Joe Flacco necessarily deserves it either. It's just a topic of discussion more than anything else. Damar Hamlin's winning this award because he literally came back from the ultimate injury, death that he had last year, and then
That's nothing putting against him.
I mean
like,
he's not Jesus. He didn't come back from death, but I mean like he literally at one point was dead on the field. Medically, I think was dead. I think at one
medically
point.
cleared. Dead.
Went into cardiac arrest or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like obviously huge and horrific event to take place on the NFL field.
Freak
but, like,
accident.
yeah, but going into this year, it makes sense. Even if he only played a few snaps, he probably
Yeah,
deserves
he's
it, in my
getting cut
opinion. I'm not going to sit here, even though like probably the reason why he's still on the NFL team is because that happened to him. I mean, it's not like he's necessarily like giving the Bills a
He's not
big
like a key
support.
piece to the bill. He's not like a
No.
role player, and it's like he's a
I'd like
backup.
to-
That
I'd like to
Right.
think if I went into cardiac arrest, I would not be playing football.
No,
However-
I'm not. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I wouldn't be thinking I got to get back on this NFL field. So the steps of him even getting to that point, props to him. That's great. I mean, seriously, I don't want to take away what he's been able to do to get back to this point. You know, I guess I just would like to see more than 4 snaps the entire season is the only thing I would say. Get him a game.
If Aaron Rodgers would have been able to play,
That's my comeback player of the year, Aaron Rodgers.
He'll get it next year, probably.
I'm just kidding. T. Higgins got away with murder, dude. That's crazy.
Whoa!
Whoa!
That's my comeback player of the year, T. Higgins.
Anybody else though have another person that could be put on this list? It's not going to be anybody else besides DeMar Hamlin, but no.
I mean, Joe Flacco is mine, so.
Okay.
Baker.
Oh, Baker. Actually, that's a good point.
But
Baker.
that's one though where it's literally like Baker doesn't want to be told, "Oh, you actually weren't that good. You moved around from team to team, and then you had a good season again, so you got one comeback player of the year." It's like Baker's not going to want that award. So it's like if the players don't want it, then don't give it to players that don't want the award. If you tore your ACL,
but does he deserve it? Maybe.
It's a compliment at the same time, though. They take it as a slight because they're ultra competitive. They don't want to be told that they're ever bad at something. But moving on, defensive rookie of the year. So this one, in my opinion, is still up for debate, and I am 100% going to be biased. I think, statistically, based off what he was able to do on everything, grade wise, position wise. I mean, ended the season, Pro Bowls, that kind of stuff. Devin Witherspoon should be winning this award, in my opinion. He was consistent as hell all season. Devin Witherspoon is the only defensive rookie that made the Pro Bowl. Only defensive rookie that made the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl doesn't necessarily mean anything, but again, they look at it when you're looking at the Canton Hall of Fame list at the end of the every year too. So it does mean something at the same time. But my opinion, Devin Witherspoon is my defensive.
It's always make fun of Trey for being biased. Holy cow!
I mean, that's pretty biased, but I mean, it's reasonable. You can't argue with it.
I don't know what you guys are saying. Why is that so biased?
It might be top 4.
I don't think he's gonna win it.
Top 4.
Top 4.
Top 4.
Jeez, name 3 other rookies.
Well, I'll name mine. I'll name mine, and these guys will agree more than they'll agree to Witherspoon. My defensive rookie player of the year is Will Anderson Jr.
Absolutely, Dalen. Thank you.
No. Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
He's helped that Texans defense so much this year.
He's got
nothing last year.
Bro's got 15 games played, 45 tackles, 7 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, and not to mention his coverage skills. Like he's deflecting balls, like he drops back. I mean,
coverage skills. When is he dropping back in coverage?
How long was Witherspoon out for his back?
When he's got to drop a flat, it's scary.
3 total games this season. No, it was like 4 total games.
How many games did Witherspoon play, Zach?
I think he only played like 13 out of the 17.
Okay, he still played more than what I thought.
Yeah.
But either way, 15 games played. Will Anderson balled out every single game.
Witherspoon's up there, but I just don't think he won. What I was thinking right when you said that is because of the amount of games he played. I knew he was hurt for quite a bit.
Comeback player of the year.
He played 13 games.
That's still a lot.
I mean, I feel like that's quite a bit of the season.
It's still a lot.
So, I mean, also want to say he literally is one of the highest rated cornerbacks in the NFL.
Like I said, Zach,
NFL, not just rookies. In the NFL.
You have a good argument.
Well, you guys look at me like, oh, you're just a biased Seahawks fan. This guy's not even top 4. What?
Yeah, because what would you guys say if Trey said Joey Porter Jr.?
Because Joey Porter Jr. definitely doesn't belong on this list. Devin Witherspoon, whether you guys
I think he deserves to be up there in top 4.
Top 10. Top 10.
He's guarded every team's best receiver. That's for sure.
Y'all are disrespecting him, just like Madden's disrespecting.
Like he's not a top 5 Trey. Like
let's see.
Rookie, defensive rookie this year?
He might be 7 or 6.
I got NFL defensive rookies of the year of this year, odds and favorites to win. Number 1 is Jalen Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Which great front half of the season, but again, why didn't he make the Pro Bowl if he was so damn good?
Because there's a lot of good D tackles out there.
Pro Bowl is also
a lot of good corners.
You gotta think about this. Pro Bowl is fan voting.
It
Not
is fan
necessarily.
voting.
It's not necessarily stat based. It's all based on voting.
It's true.
Anyways, number 2 was Will Anderson Jr. 3 is Christian Gonzalez.
That
from
was
the
I was
Patriots.
going to talk about Christian Gonzalez.
Christian Gonzalez played
Listen,
7
listen.
games.
He played like
At
2
most.
games.
Listen. I was going to talk about Christian Gonzalez. I wasn't going to say he's rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, but I was going to say that dude is a stud. That
He's
didn't
a
get to show
stud.
it.
Yeah, but he played.
Don't get me
for-
wrong, he is.
Yeah,
But
I
you
was-
didn't play
I
the
was
whole
gonna-
year.
I'm not
Of the
I'm not saying
year.
this thing- I'm not
No,
saying
no, he was
this
just
is the
going to
dude.
throw it
I'm
out
just
there.
saying- wait,
That's
hold
what
on.
he's doing
I
there.
was just gonna say, like, this dude is a stud. He's got unfortunate injury.
Yeah. He probably would have
No,
won defensive rookie of the
He
year.
played
Joey
4
Porter
games.
Jr. is
He
5.
played 4 games.
I was gonna say, dude has had like a sneaky good season. Like, not just being biased. Like, he's had a good season. Yeah, he's had a lot of penalties. He might be a little grabby. But,
So say these
I mean-
odds again. Say these odds again, Dalen.
So 1's
But this
Jalen
one's
Carter, 2 is Will Smith Jr. This new one I just clicked on has Witherspoon at 3.
Yeah,
Then-
as you should
Then
be.
4 is Brian Branch. 5 Joey Porter
Brian
Jr.
Branch had a year.
That's the
Who are
top
you-
5.
Which one are you going off of, Dalen?
I would say Christian Gonzalez
I just
deserves
looked up-
nowhere on that
I was
list.
that might have been preseason.
Hey, I have the
It might have been.
Vegas one pulled
That would
up.
make sense.
Give
if
me one
it's
second.
preseason.
This is what Vegas got right now. So Vegas has got for defensive. Oh, that's player. Whoops. Defensive rookie of the year. Jalen Carter minus 225. Will Anderson plus 225. Kobe Turner plus 600. Devin Witherspoon plus 5,000. Brian Branch 6600.
Who the frick is Colby Turner?
Defensive tackle for the Rams.
Yeah,
What did he do?
I mean
He's where?
Really
Shit on you guys, I guess.
Watch the Rams.
And
that's what he did.
Where? He's 5th?
Yeah, 4th.
He's
Oh,
ahead.
sorry,
He's
Kobe's
ahead
third.
of.
Kobe's 3rd. Devin Witherspoon's 4th, and Brian Branch is 5th.
Jeez.
Well, hey. Anyways,
And that's Vegas.
you guys know which award there shouldn't be a debate for and will not be a debate for?
I'm just pissed off. At
MVP.
this point.
Offensive rookie.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
You're Wyatt.
I have no clue who you guys think it is. No clue.
I've been saying this.
Well, we've all been saying this for like 5 weeks, bro.
The Carolina
Oh,
fucked
yeah.
up. They picked Bryce Young.
No, we're not talking about. We're on the
He-
same thing with
He's
Wyatt.
switching it up on you, Dalen.
Whoa.
You thought he was on the same page? He's not.
Whoa.
Yeah, that is offensive rookie of the year, buddy.
Who?
Yeah,
Who is?
second overall pick.
Ohio State.
No.
Yeah,
No.
this guy.
Oh
Offensive
my
rookie
God.
of the
Oh
year.
my God.
4,100
Oh
passing yards, 23 tutties, and 5 interceptions.
Yeah, those stats are cute.
QBR of
What
100.
records did he break?
Cotton missed 3 games this year.
I was gonna say, Dalen, can you please read Wyatt the receipts of why Puka Nacua is the
That's who
offensive
your
MVP?
guys' offensive rookie of the year is, right?
100%.
Okay. Because Puka Nacua this last week broke 2 records. Not just one, he broke 2 receiving records. He finished the year with 106 receptions and 1,400 yards, almost 1,500 yards. And he broke
How many
the
touchdowns?
reception record held by Jalen Waddle from 2001.
2021.
The biggest thing is
Just
he
saying.
broke or 2021, sorry, 2021. but the biggest thing is he broke the receiving yards record that's been held since 1960, bro. That's
So
absolutely crazy.
statistically, He has the
He's
most
literally the best
receptions.
rookie receiver.
He has the most receptions as a rookie receiver. He has the most receiving yards as a rookie receiver. The only other category that makes a good receiver is touchdowns, which touchdowns I think are a little bit tough because it's like you have to be in a good situation piece. He had the receiving yards. I mean, Megatron had one of the greatest receiving seasons of ever. Only had 5 touchdowns as well. So it's like to say like, oh, he didn't have the touchdowns, so therefore he's not up there. It's true. Look at it. Stat that, Wyatt. I already did. He had 19. He had 1900. He had 1964 receiving yards. Only had 5 touchdowns. So
when the betting odds right now are C.J. Stroud minus 1,000, Puka plus 450, Zay Flowers plus
makes
50,
no sense,
bro.
It's
Well, then how about you be smart and put all your money on Puka because he's gonna win it.
It makes
again.
Odds are helping you.
That's just odds.
Only reason why he would win.
And Vegas knows a lot.
The only reason why CJ would win is because
they want you to lose money.
If they could give a reward to a quarterback, they're gonna do it. They're gonna always look to give an award to a quarterback. Just the way it is.
And
I would
also-
say CJ Stroud deserves it if granted he was hurt at that
He kind of
last half part of the season. He was hurt.
Games.
Yeah. But he had his
and still brought them back. They lost 2 out of those 3 games and still managed to get their ass in the playoffs.
The only thing I would say, Wyatt, his stats are great. Don't get me wrong, but the way he started, he wasn't throwing for 4 and 5 touchdowns a game like he did at the beginning of the season. He really shrunk down to that. Oh, he had 1 or 2 touchdowns a game.
Puka's best games were in the beginning of the season.
Puka had great games the entire season. What are you talking about?
He had 1,900 yards in
You
fucking
can't have
one
any games off,
games.
bro, if you're gonna beat the receptions record and receiving record. You
He
can't
almost
have
had.
any
He
bad
almost. I would say. I mean, he literally had 2 out of the 3 rookie records
Cooper
for
Kupp
a
wasn't
receiving
there.
year.
What were his numbers? They were
100
insane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. When Cooper
Because
comes back, they're not going to be as
The
good.
Rams are the 6th seed in the NFC.
And
The Rams are the 6th seed in
and
the
the
NFC.
Texans are the 4th seed in the AFC.
Because their division's ass.
Where
Their
was this
division's ass.
argument? What is this argument right now?
I don't know what you're arguing. Why do you
Bro,
just
there's no argument. Why? There's no argument. Move on.
One
Yeah,
move
yeah,
on.
yeah.
With the
Move on.
quarterback.
You gave your horrendous opinion.
And who wins it, Dalen?
Hey,
What are you
hey.
going to
And
do?
we shut it down.
If he can talk about Ohio State, he's going to.
I'm
gonna
not
hang
going
on.
to talk about Ohio State.
why?
And he's been a Texas fan.
The year to give it to him.
Oh,
Didn't throw
shit,
a
I
pick
forgot.
till
forgot.
week
He's got
9.
the 1 seed, the 6th seed, and I don't even know what else he's got. Probably the other 1 seed, Baltimore.
I was gonna. Why? I'm not
CJ Stroud did
disagreeing.
not throw a pick for the first 9 weeks of the game.
Yeah, that's incredible. He had a great season. I don't
No
think
one's
anybody
knocking
is saying.
his season.
Yeah, I just think Puka, from a completely non-biased this season or that season, it's like, oh, what kind of game would you like to have? Would you like to have the game where you had 84 points and 0 assists and 0 rebounds? Or would you like to have the game where you had 20 points, 40 rebounds, and 35 assists? It's like, they're both good games. Which one do I prefer more? I think I prefer Puka's season more than I do CJ
That's
Stroud.
fine.
CJ Stroud had a great season. I'm not taking that away from anything about it. That guy had a crazy good rookie season. That guy's going to be a dog for years to come. That's a fact of it. All I'm saying is, though, I think Puka, in my opinion, the guy literally almost had the perfect best rookie season as a receiver ever.
I think that's what we got to remember. These are
let's be
these are
honest.
yearly
I'm not-
awards.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
It's
take
not
anything
like-
away from Puka because obviously he had a good year. But in my mind, when you don't go 9 seasons without throwing a pick, have one of the best completion
Games.
percentage records, lead the NFL in damn near passing yards, and also was top 10 in passing touchdowns, it's just
Puka
a really
was-
good. Like he was
Puka's
in
top
the
5 in-
competition for the MVP. At
Puka's
one point.
Puka's won in 2 out of the 3 stats that matter as a receiver. He's number
CJ
1.
Stroud was an MVP candidate at one point this season.
Yeah, the start of the year. What has he done
Not
towards
the
the end
start
of the year?
It was
Yes.
middle of the season, getting the late season when he was an MVP candidate.
No. We got to
All right.
move on, or we
All
won't
right,
stop
moving-
there.
No, I got
Zach
you.
even said himself.
Why
that
he's
he
never going to
didn't
agree with
show it.
anyone.
What?
What do you mean at the beginning of the year, CJ wasn't putting up great numbers. Now, during the later seasons, when he started putting up great numbers. So where's Dalen getting this early in the season? He was
So, defensive player of the year. Who do we all got?
Defensive player of the year. This one,
I think this should be obvious.
this, of course, you're gonna say that. You're so biased because he's not even that good. Okay, I'll hold back my frustrations. I'm still looking at Devin Witherspoon's stats. You gotta do your research.
Duran Bland.
TJ Watt had a crazy good season. I mean, he almost had 20 sacks once again. You can't deny that whatsoever. Can't deny it. What?
Bring up Myles Garrett's
That's
stats.
Defensive player of the year.
14 sacks, 17 tackles for loss, 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery.
All right. I
said Deion Brand.
TJ Watt stats right here. All right.
Oh.
19 sacks,
Okay.
19 tackles for loss, 36 QB hits, forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, 3.
Okay.
What more do you need? Combined tackles, 68.
Always playing from behind.
48. Assists, 20.
Barely made the playoffs.
Literally.
Yeah, this is true. Myles Garrett wasn't going as hard late in the game because he didn't have to.
I was gonna say
that is such a. Well, he wasn't going so hard.
Sorry,
he was
the Browns
double
were able to
teamed.
Put up 40 points a game. You guys are able to put up 20, barely.
That
there's
means
still-
nothing. That means
My
nothing.
defensive player of the year is Micah Parsons.
Sorry,
I
no.
think he's actually going to get it this year.
Spencer with
Duran
Duran Bland, to be honest with you.
Well, let's look at it. What's Micah Parsons' year been? Because he's
Sorry,
been
I've
kinda-
looked at all these numbers. Nobody's numbers are better than TJ Watt's.
Yeah, well, I said the same thing about my guy, and nobody likes to look at him either. So
I'm
Let's
just saying
just-
the numbers.
let's
Numbers
just
don't lie.
let's continue to stay ignorant. That's what I like. Let's just continue to stay ignorant and think about what everybody else has to think. So Micah
Oh, and
Parsons,
TJ Watt has an interception.
Micah Parsons has 30. Let me go to his game or his yearly stats. Let's take a look here. So in 2023, he had 64 total tackles. He had 14 total sacks, 1 fumble or 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 0 interceptions. I don't think he had any touchdowns either. He had 1 pass defense. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna get it, man. I know from like an impact, he definitely is an impact player. You can't.
Don't get me wrong. All 3 of those players that we just said. Yeah,
one of the best
all 3 of
defenders.
those players that we just said, they all impact players no matter what. They're all great players, best players on their defense, probably on their teams.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I'll agree with you on this, Trey. I think
They literally-
TJ Watt's gonna get it.
No.
all play the same
Duran
fucking
Bland.
position.
You guys want to hear a stat or someone that is like a sleeper, but like you
Trey
said, had a
Hendrickson?
huge impact this year? Fred Warner. Dude was balling. He had 82 solo tackles, 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, no touchdowns.
He's a middle linebacker too.
Yeah, but he's not going to get it, obviously. But he had a good defensive year.
Yeah.
Probably one of his best, if not his best.
Are you
Duran
serious?
Bland.
Are you serious when you say Duran Bland? Expand on it then, or expand on it.
53 tackles, 16 assists, 9 interceptions, returned for 209 yards, 5 interceptions returned to the house,
Most of all time
15
in the season.
15 pass deflects.
I'd like Duran
It's the same
Bland.
thing with-
Shut your fucking ass
literally-
up about TJ
I
Watt,
like
motherfucker.
Duran Bland
Okay.
in this.
It's the same thing as Trayvon Diggs fucking leading the league in interceptions.
No,
Dude's still a
because he was
liability
just
in coverage.
running to go get it. This was like him making plays.
Trey,
Okay,
do I
yeah,
go back to
dude's
the
up.
stat when TJ Watt gets double teamed.
He does, but
Dude,
Trey
what do
didn't
you-
bring that
Not
up.
really, because he's rushing to the outside every time I watch him.
And he gets double teamed, but Trey didn't even bring that up.
I'm bringing it up.
He does get double teamed.
So Trey
He gets
can
shit
bring it
blocked
up.
almost every fucking play. I don't have the double
Gets
team
double
percentages
teamed.
up.
And he's not as good. So you can talk about when he gets double teamed. So you can say one guy's liability in coverage, but he's putting up points for the defense, or you can put a guy that gets double teamed, doesn't do anything the whole time. So if he gets double teamed every single play, TJ Watt wouldn't be in the running.
No one said that.
I'm just saying that,
He's
Dalen.
making a true statement, though.
No one said No one brought up
You
TJ
said he
Watt.
gets double teamed and basically every
I'm
play.
bringing no. Trey brought up he's a
Yeah, he
liability in
said
coverage.
Trey
because
said
But you know
he
what?
gets double teamed every play.
When you get double teamed, I mean, obviously that means, oh, this man's a fucking threat. Like, we have to double team him or we can't fucking block him.
He's on the edge. He's getting up fields. There is no double team. It's one-on-one on a damn.
There's a running back,
No,
and
it's
then
not.
if there's only
The tight
3
end.
guys pushing, there's a
When the tight
lineman.
end fucking sits there and comes and blocks him for a solid second and then runs his route every fucking play, I mean,
That was a
you
more
can sit there and rewatch every Steelers game. It's fucking every
I'm just
goddamn
saying,
play.
If TJ got double teamed every single time, he wouldn't be in the running.
No.
I feel like
But
a
he
lot
doesn't get
of
double
these
teamed.
players get if they got double teamed every single play, would not be in the running.
Exactly. I'm saying that you said this dude's a liability in pass coverage just because he's picking the
Yeah,
ball
we're talking
up.
about two completely different fucking.
Well, it's the
Not
same
like
thing. It's about defense
positions.
and how he's.
Well, I
How is
mean,
TJ and this guy not a liability on both? If TJ's not getting blocked, or if TJ's one-on-one, yeah.
If
he's
he
gonna
just
have
gets
a
blocked,
great
double
season.
teamed, I
He's
feel like
one-on-one,
that's not a
he put up
liability.
probably.
well, I guess my
How is it a
question
liability?
is, what is TJ
I'm
supposed
not.
to
I'm saying
do?
this dude. You're saying this dude's a liability in pass coverage. The dude has.
I mean,
5
He
Trey-
interceptions
is.
a
Was he
turn.
not?
No, he's
How much
not.
yards? What was the yards he gave up?
Not as much as Trevon Diggs did. I'll tell you that.
I mean, didn't Trevon Diggs have record high fucking numbers given up compared to his
Yeah, he
his
did. He had the
interceptions?
most interceptions, but I'm not talking about interceptions. I'm not talking about interceptions alone. I'm talking about he returned them to the opposite.
Yes,
to the
that
opponent's-
alone is great. Like that's
And he was
wild that he
cutting
fucking
a
did
lot
that.
of just quick 5 and outs. They weren't like him go searching for a ball down the field, like getting off his man.
No,
and
but
going-
wasn't that what he was known for? Oh, yeah, he's great at covering the 5 and outs, but if you cut it in front of his face, he's not covering it.
No, I don't think that was ever a statement. But all right, I could be wrong, Trey. I'm not going to put that past you on that one.
I mean, I think for a corner, yeah, like I said, dude, the 5 touchdowns returned back, crazy, like record, obviously. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like you got to be a lockdown. You got to like look at his for a corner. You got to look how many yards he gave up, how many deflections, all this and that too. You can't just say
I
his
also like to
touchdowns and
look
his
at
interceptions.
record. I also like
I
to
feel
look
like-
at record. Like obviously,
Inter-
TJ's got a good record.
Your
Miles
defense?
has got a good record. So the Browns had the number 1 defense all year. Like just getting to the quarterback, passing yards, and all that. And a lot of that has to do with Myles Garrett up front. And like you said before, TJ does get double teamed from play to play, but not every play. And that's when he's able to make those plays. And that's why he's so special.
Miles Garrett
Like,
doesn't get double teamed every single play.
Yes, he's getting double teamed every single play. That's
No,
a
he's not.
guarantee.
It's not. No, he's not. Because you can't.
Well,
That's
they're
not physically
getting double
possible
teamed just
for an
because he's
offensive line to
big.
double team somebody every play without the rest of the D line going insane.
Yeah, you're 100% correct.
Look at
That's
Aaron
what I mean.
Donald.
When there's those plays where he doesn't get double
That's the
teamed,
thing. Aaron
that's
Donald
when
was
he's
the
making
only
plays.
dude on the D line.
He's-
And then that's why Leonard Floyd, whatever, a couple years ago had a
He has
great year.
Darius Smith,
'cause-
bro, on the opposite side. I don't think he's the only one on the line. He's
Who
way
else is
better
having
than
a great
Exactly.
season for you guys on defense? D line.
Highsmith has had a good year. He had a good year last year.
D line,
Highsmith.
not middle linebacker. D line.
Would
Highsmith
you
is
say he's
not a middle
better than
linebacker.
Darius?
Cam Hayward.
Trey?
I think Alex Highsmith and Zadarius Smith are about equal.
Okay, I can respect that.
So they're linebackers. I'm talking about D line.
Well,
Like
yeah, they're linebackers,
is
but
he-
they edge rush.
is he-
He's an edge rusher.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you're bringing 4, so they just
Yeah.
moved the other guy. Yeah. Obviously, you guys know.
All right, let's move on to offensive player of the year.
Yeah,
Can
this
we?
one
Easy.
I feel like is easier, way easier.
Offensive player of the year. In my opinion, which it's going to be tough to say because I think he has a real. Gosh, I guess maybe it is tougher than I thought it was going to be. My initial thoughts of people who I think should be up here. Christian McCaffrey, I think, really should be on this
Yep.
list. If he's not
Winner.
already if he's not MVP, he should be up there. He should have won it. I think CeeDee Lamb, I think he's got Triple Crown winner, which if you win the Triple Crown as a receiver, it should at least, put you up there as one of the best offensive players in the NFL. I think CeeDee's had his best season ever. Same thing too. I think Tyreek Hill for a large portion, if he wouldn't have been able to, if he didn't get hurt last half of the season, I think he easily would have been up here for sure. but like in general, great seasons all around by some really incredible offensive players. My opinion, though, Chris McCaffrey's got to win it. Is my vote, I would say.
Been the most healthy. I mean, he's been through it all.
Yeah, that's my pick too. But
even
that
when
is
doing
good
good,
for CeeDee Lamb because
How much did he even
all year?
I was saying, how much did he even end with?
Crown winner?
I don't know. I think he was
I don't
close.
think he's a
Depending
triple
on,
crown winner, but I know he's got yards and touchdowns for
but yeah,
sure.
it depended on how much if he would have beaten Tyreek, which I don't know how
think
much
he got
Tyreek ended with.
I think he's got more yards than Tyreek right now.
I don't know if he does.
No, I think
CeeDee Lamb
Tyreek
had an
only
insane year.
Tyreek only
He's
needed,
got
Tyreek had 1,400, right?
no Tyreek. He had more than that.
I think he's at like 16.
Yeah, I think it's
16.
1,600.
Let's take a look. Let's take a
Oh,
look.
I guess I didn't include last game. Yeah.
Tyreek Hill has 119 receptions, 1,799 yards for almost 1,800, and then he has 13 passing touchdowns or receiving touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb has 135 receiving receptions, so more receptions than him. Tyreek Hill beat him by 50 yards in receiving yards. So CD had 1,749. And then, he actually didn't. So Tyreek actually beat him in touchdowns too, because CD only has 12. So I guess he's not even close. So never mind. I think Tyreek's over CD.
Close. I mean, he is pretty close. I mean,
He's
still.
close, but I think technically Tyreek had a better. He had quite a few less receptions, but more touchdowns and more yards still. So I think
Over
Tyreek
the
might
top.
even be over him then.
Yeah,
So I think it's going to be CMC just because even when the 49ers
He can get
were
snubbed
losing,
out at MVP.
Yeah.
even when the
It's usually
49ers were losing, CMC did his thing and got over 100 yards and a touchdown, if not two.
He had a 7-game with a rushing touchdown. 7 games in a row with a rushing touchdown.
You
Or was it
look
just a
at the
It's like
dude
17,
that always
wasn't
gets snubbed out of
Was it
MVP
17?
always ends up with offensive player of the year.
it? I mean,
Yeah.
like when you look
Yeah,
at
I mean, go ahead, Zach.
Derrick Henry a couple years ago.
Cooper Kupp when he won his triple
Cooper
crown.
Kupp.
I mean, looking back at it, Cooper Kupp should have won MVP that year, guys. It's so
Easy.
obvious. It makes no sense that he didn't win it, but that's just the NFL, man. It's like the best you can get is offensive player of the year. That's the best you can get.
Yeah, so obviously CMC is who we're all taking for offensive, yeah.
Yep. And then jumping to MVP, then guys, the conversation we've been having for a while now at this point. MVP. We talked about it. Was Brock Purdy at one point? You guys know how my feelings towards that is.
Never
Lamar Jackson, I think, is the number best odds right now to win it by a lot. I'm not against it. My personal opinion, I think it should have been CMC. I think he had a great season. I think Dak has a reason to be up there too. I think Dak had a great NFL season too, that he could have easily been, I think, or could still be easily up there to be the winner of it. I'm fine.
Oops, sorry, Zach.
I was gonna say I'm fine with any of those guys except Brock Purdy.
I think he probably fell out.
Yeah, I mean, he fell off the last couple weeks of the year. Like he was out of the discussion. But
I think those top 3 guys then are I'd be fine with any of them.
Yeah, but to put Dak Prescott into perspective, if you took his passing touchdowns right now and put him in the 2021 season, he'd be 9th out of 10.
Like total,
numbers
wise or what?
And he was behind by good 10, 12 touchdowns.
I think it's behind.
I mean, you look at all quarterbacks. All quarterbacks, like the last couple of years, haven't been throwing touchdowns like they did.
Last year into perspective, but
it's very obvious, and because you and I sat down and just looking at random stats that one day, literally it's night and day how much quarterbacks, like how many less touchdowns quarterbacks are throwing. Lamar, I think, ended the season barely over 30 or whatever he got to. I don't even know. No, it wasn't even 30. It was like 20
total or just passing?
It was just passing, but I think he only had
passing. He had 24.
He has 24 passing touchdowns, and he's the best front runner. He had 38 passing touchdowns alone his MVP season from 3 years ago.
That's crazy.
And then what did Patrick Mahomes have a couple of years ago? What did he have? 50?
50?
Yeah,
it's
50.
like
Wasn't it
Tom Brady? That.
Yeah,
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning were going like for 50 to 54 or something like that.
Yeah, they had multiple.
Peyton Manning has the record for 54, doesn't he?
Touchdowns in a
so.
He threw up
55 actually. I think it's 55.
touchdowns in a year.
I think Breeze broke it. Actually, I think Breeze broke it.
But 56 is the
either
record.
way. It's
like quarterbacks quarterbacks are throwing a lot fewer touchdowns for some reason. I don't understand like why that is.
I
But
think it just
could it be the defenses are
Just the
just a
whole
lot
running.
better? All that. And the
Maybe.
scheme now is running the ball, running quarterback,
I was gonna say.
agile
I think
quarterback.
it's a lot just more running backs are getting more like there's
And Lamar only
more
had
running back
800
committees, more like.
rushing.
I mean, like you look at Jamal Williams, he's probably not a top tier running back. Like last year, he led the league in touchdowns with 17 touchdowns as a running back.
And we got him as one this year.
One.
Yeah.
this year.
Falcons.
Absolutely.
I mean,
one.
you just get these
Well,
committee of
that's
running
the
backs
game.
and quarterbacks running, and it's just a lot of
Well,
running
early
rushing
2000s,
touchdowns.
early 2000s, it was pound the rock. A lot of really big time, early
Yeah.
2000s running backs out there. I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had a lot of MVP like winners that were running backs in the early 2000s and even like the late 90s too. Like that was an MVP. Like running backs were a valuable position to have. Then we went straight to quarterback.
How many? We looked this stat up. How many?
I think there's only been
players-
four or five total non-quarterback winners of the MVP.
AP.
AP, it was Sean Alexander, go Hawks.
Alexander.
It was
Evans.
LaDainian Tomlinson, I think, won it.
LaDainian, yeah.
Yep. I think who else was it that got
Was it Emmett Smith or was it?
No, wasn't it an
Barry-
older guy?
No.
Because I thought we used
Barry Sanders didn't win one.
No, Barry's did not win
They
one.
tied with Brett Favre. Him and Brett Favre tied.
Okay, yeah,
They're
you
co-MVPs.
Oh, yeah,
Co-MVP,
but
yeah. There's someone
dude,
else.
who is this last guy?
Let me take a look. Only 9 of the
2K.
20. Wait, what is this? I think there's some more from way back in the day,
Yeah,
but it's
no,
not.
those
Even,
don't.
it's
That's
it's
not
not
the
even.
era.
It's not
Super
even
Bowl era.
relevant. So
Super Bowl area.
since 1990, there's only been 9. Sorry, there's more than this. I guess 9 since 1990 have ever won MVP outside of a quarterback, which this is still outdated too. Or maybe not. Never mind. Thurman Thomas.
Yep.
Thurman Thomas. Emmett Smith did win it. Barry Sanders did win it in 97. Terrell Davis, which is
Yep.
wild. Terrell
No,
Davis.
that is not wild. He
No,
was
I know,
cold.
but like it's
Part of
wild.
their
That
Super Bowl-
this guy
their
was
Super Bowl run.
this guy was an undrafted free agent. And this
Oh
guy-
yeah, he was blind. And
2,000 rushing yards, dude.
Everyone's
Crazy.
fucking blind.
I know. Marshall Falk. Marshall Falk won it in 2000.
Yeah, that's what it was, Marshall
2005,
Falk.
Sean Alexander. 2006, LaDainian Tomlinson. So back to back, 2005, 2006 running backs.
running back.
2012 and Adrian Peterson, and Adrian Peterson was the last one in 2012. So for
Man.
11 straight years in a row, we haven't had a non-quarterback win the MVP yet. And there's been obviously more than previous than that, but regardless, there's not a lot. I think literally after we got past the early 2000s, we went to this quarterback dominant. I'm throwing 50 times a game. I'm throwing 50 touchdowns a season. Like where you have the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Big Ben, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Drew Brees era quarterbacks, Phillip Rivers, where they're just launching the ball and that's their whole game. And then we're going back now to the running back ages where you have not one, not two, maybe 3 running backs on your team that are swapping in and out the entire game, and they're both giving you 75 apiece, but they're totaling 150 rushing yards. So it's like it's
Mr.
definitely
Mack
going
would be
back to a
proud.
dominant.
History repeats itself.
It's true. It's very true. But regardless,
Love that
I
guy.
think our MVP all around,
Oh,
at least my MVP, it's tough. I want to see Christian McCaffrey up there, but I can't be unrealistic with it. I think Lamar's probably going to win it. I think from like a dominant standpoint, he's the reason, one of the big reasons why that Ravens team is where they're at right now, in the number 1 seed in the AFC. I mean, they beat the best team in the NFL in the NFC, which I still think that. I mean, like, it's very obvious that I think that the Ravens are there where Lamar is, and I mean, the only reason why they're there is because of Lamar, I should say. So my opinion is Lamar.
Hey,
Don't you
Yeah, I
dare
got
say
Lamar.
that
I
you
agree
beat
with
him
that.
twice.
I got Lamar.
Don't you dare say, "Oh, we beat him twice, so we must be the best. We can beat the MVP." Yeah,
hey, man.
Yeah, obviously no.
Beat him one time.
There we go. Well, that concludes our award ceremony, guys. Took a while, but still a good time. We'll find out the exact winners to be kicked. All right, and that brings us to our final segment, which is always going to be our pick'ems, which is a little bit different this week.
Yeah.
We don't have nearly as many because we actually have less games because it is the playoffs as we've been talking. But before we dive into the playoffs itself, Wyatt, I believe you have the actual final totals from the regular season.
Give me one
the
second.
long-awaited, not what the hell, knowing where the hell Spence has been at. You've been keeping track for us at home. I appreciate it. But I believe we did the exact math to be able to have
Drum roll, please.
correct numbers.
All right, boys. Starting off in 4th place, we got Gordon with 127 wins on the season. And then next,
Shout out, Trey.
Those 2 weeks that I missed hurt me.
yeah. Well, okay. So what did we say, Trey? What did you?
Wait, you didn't put mine in it?
Though, right? Hold on. Trey's
No,
got
I did that.
for Dalen.
He did. I think you just missed 2 weeks altogether, though, Trey. Is where it's
No, I missed 1 week, but then 1 week Dalen picked for me,
Yeah.
but I didn't put it in the app.
So okay. So hold on one second.
It was like
So
10.
Oh, geez. Trey may have bumped
It
up
was like
there.
16.
One
It was
I did
12.
was 12, wasn't it?
Yeah,
No,
127.
he
plus
did it good.
12,
He did good.
139. Holy shit, boys. All right, get back into this. All right, we got a two-way tie for 3rd and 4th place.
Oh,
So, the 2 people, obviously Trey and Spencer, tied for 3rd and 4th with 139 wins.
Spence, you had 400 points. How did you choke that lead?
Why can't count? Why can't count?
Oh, trust me, I can
I'll
count.
take the 3rd spot though. That's okay.
All
How are we
right,
going to decide this?
should I announce?
You missed
the
a week, Trey. You can't
Let's-
count on
let's
Dalen's.
do
You
Yeah, I
missed
missed a week, and we still tied.
Yeah, that's all right. I picked every team against me.
Who knows ball? Me.
You got last, dude. You got 4th.
You got last.
I didn't get last.
I
Okay,
mean,
to be honest with you,
statistically,
you would have gotten last if we didn't take Dalen's picks.
but statistically though, Trey did miss a week, so he probably would have gotten at least one of those right. So therefore, he probably would have been last. Hopefully, maybe.
Well, we
I don't
already
know.
know he had 4 rounds.
Anyways, who was second, my guy?
All right. In 2nd place, Mr. Zach Jones with 141 total correct picks.
I'll take it.
And obviously, last but not least, the champion of this all.
Yeah.
I am the greatest.
Yeah, the guy that goes, I'm gonna pick, you know,
Yes.
I'm a huge Washington fan. Huge Washington fan, but
I caught him one time switching them.
I'm gonna take
I will
Washington.
say-
Then next time he's like, I took the
The
Eagles,
card.
guys. I
Right. When
What's up
people
to my mom?
say they're
got
out,
the Eagles, bro. I
you
picked the
choose your
Eagles.
pick. That's how the game works. If you,
No, it's
I
not.
didn't. I
You
didn't. Not
tried.
once this
None of us
year.
did.
It goes.
Even when
Take this shit off, dude, because you are not a man of your word. You are not a man of your word.
oh, go
You have
on.
never been a man of
Give
your
me
word.
my theme song, baby.
You're not a man of your word. This shit over here, this dancing, and all this stuff that you do is all fake. Just like your picks, and just like your
Why
fucking
is Northern's song?
All right,
your
now
theme?
Wyatt's out of the podcast. I mean,
All right, now he's
well, what I was gonna say is yes, Wyatt, you did move your numbers, which it might have made sense, but you told the people you're picking this, and then you go, no, I'm not actually doing that. I
It's
gotta
not my
do
fault
right
that
by
the
you guys that actually
player
watch our
decided.
pick'ems. I mean, overall, we were all very close. Like we're literally within 11 total picks of each other or 12 total picks of each other. That's pretty good. I mean, of a 17-week span with minimum of 12 games per week in some cases, we did pretty
what's
well.
perfect?
And we only picked us four, not Wyatt, picked the teams that. Like our teams, we picked our teams every week.
There's definitely some weeks that I knew the Seahawks weren't
10
going
wins
to win.
right there. 10 wins.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Come
sure
on.
I picked Washington every single week except for the Miami week.
That's
Some of the
bullshit.
weeks that you went back and changed behind the scenes.
Oh.
To Washington because I was like, it
no.
could be our week.
Not a man of your word. You're not a man of your word.
That's fine. I won. What can
All
I
right.
say? Stats can't lie.
All right,
Steelers
well,
never
do.
win.
The stats do
pick'ems
lie.
regardless. Here we go. I'm going to share with you guys so you guys can see exactly where we're sitting at when it comes to the playoff picture. Here's where we have currently right now for our playoffs. If you guys can see that, hopefully, I hope
They
maybe a
can.
little bit better. Still a little bit. It might be too big now.
The people
But
can see it. Nope, that's good.
we're-
Oh, thank
okay.
you.
Okay, we'll go back one more. There we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
There it is.
So we have a game over here, wild card weekend. Obviously, both sides actually, but Steelers versus Bills. Whew,
At noon.
rough first game to have, I would say.
I like it.
It's in Buffalo, right? It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we match up better with the Bills than we do with the Dolphins.
I was just gonna say that.
I don't.
I think our defense,
I'm scared of the-
our defense can compete better with the Bills than with the
100%.
past Dolphins offense. That's just fact.
Exactly. That's 100%. I mean,
I
we
don't
can
think
get
we
after
match up
Josh
well
Allen.
with either one of them. But I mean,
no, I didn't say that, but I said we match up better.
that's true.
I'll take
We
the
match
Bills.
up better with the Bills.
I'm going to take the Bills too.
And the points.
You can take the
minus
Bills.
9.5.
And you can watch Mason Rudolph do his thing.
All right, sounds good.
If it's even Mason Rudolph, because I don't think it's
You guys obviously have the Steelers pick then, so 3 Bills are 2 Steelers. Then we have the Dolphins versus Chiefs. This is going to be interesting because the Chiefs looked like
It's going to be colder in
shit.
Casey than it is in Buffalo, by the way, on Sunday.
Ooh, that does play a factor. The fact that the Miami Dolphins are playing in a cold,
And Tua has
Kansas
not
City
won a game over 39 degrees.
Yeah, I'm playing. I'm doing
Yeah, he's a
Chiefs
pussy.
just because they're built for the playoffs.
I think they're built for the playoffs. They have Pat Mahomes. It's going to be a cold, rowdy, Arrowhead Stadium. Like, I
Taylor
think
Swift gonna be
Taylor
there?
Swift is probably going to be there. I mean, it's just the
I'm
fact
taking
of
the
it.
Chiefs.
I think I got to go Chiefs too, just because the Chiefs do this. This is what they do in the playoffs. They just come to life and they somehow make the Super Bowl.
I want the Dolphins to win, but obviously the Chiefs are the dominant answer here. Hey, question. Why is this game only on Peacock? That's some bullshit. Someone change that shit.
NFL's a bunch of sellouts.
Yeah, honestly.
Lots. All right. Browns versus Texans. This will
Give me
be
the
an
Texans.
This will be an interesting game.
right. Give me the Texans. We're wrong.
Fuck the Browns. Fuck fucking all of them.
All right.
I got Texans dead ass.
Hell yeah.
Take the Browns.
I was gonna say I kind of want to go Browns here, dude.
Go ahead.
Fine.
Go with the Browns.
It's probably the smart pick, Zach.
I'm
not
going
gonna
Browns.
lie.
Going Browns.
I got
Yeah,
Ravens
I'm
versus
Texans
nobody,
to
so
win.
it's a free dub.
I got Ravens winning that first week.
Yep.
There we go. All right, on the other side. Now, the other side of the bracket, not a single one of these are safe. Every single one of these, the opposite team or like the lower seed could upset the higher seed. First thing, Packers versus Cowboys.
Give me the Packers, baby.
I could see the Packers getting this done. I could
Cowboys.
literally see the
Give me
Packers.
Jordan Love. He's
Cowboys
going
offense
to
is-
fucking Texas.
Yeah, but they're the Cowboys.
Cowboys,
They can't
together are
win.
too dominant. They'll
They
win the
can't-
first game. They won't win a Super Bowl, but they'll win this game. That's what I think.
I don't know if I could say
They'll
that.
win this game.
Give me the Packers, Zach. Come on, baby.
I think the
Go
Cowboys'
Packers.
defense is too good
Jordan
for-
Love.
They
I
get
think the
shoddy
Cowboys'
though at
defense is too
times.
good.
I mean,
Here
the
we
Seahawks,
go. Don't
the
pick.
Seahawks have shelled them back in week 14 or whatever it was.
But I think the Seahawks' offense is more consistent and more reliable than the.
Okay, I got to
Packers
start.
I
offense.
don't know about that.
The last 3 games that the Packers and Dallas played in the playoffs in Arlington, the Green Bay Packers won.
Who was their
That was with
quarterback?
Aaron
Was it
Rodgers.
Jordan Love?
Cheers.
Aaron
Jordan
Rodgers.
Love was
What's it,
the
Jordan Love?
quarterback.
Give me the
I gotta go
Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys.
Yep.
But that's the only
Nice
one that
follow.
I feel more confident in the higher seed. I still think the Packers could win this one very easily. Like I said, I could see every single one of these.
This next one, though,
Next one, give me the Rams. I honestly think the Rams are beating this. Now, how sad is it that Matthew Stafford has to come back to Detroit just to beat his old team in the playoffs that they finally got to over 30 years of not making it or whatever it was?
Yeah, it's tough.
it's going to be unfortunate,
It's
but
the name of the game.
the Rams, though.
I mean, Matthew Stafford literally is about to win a playoff game in Detroit against his old team that finally made it. That's just sad.
You forgot one thing.
Not so fast. We buy kneecaps over here.
Is in his way.
Yes, sir. The Lions get shit done this weekend.
Oh,
Fuck out of here with that West Coast bullshit.
Yes, sir. Dan Campbell's biting kneecaps. He ain't dying out here.
Stafford
mean,
to
maybe.
Hollywood now.
Maybe, but the
You
Rams are one
You'll
of the
love
most
them.
scary.
You'll love
They're
them.
like one of the scariest teams in this playoffs right now, in my
He's
opinion.
are
got a
scary.
fucking guard. He's fucking get his team like that.
Kieran Williams balling out right now.
Puka Nakua,
Balling.
the offensive rookie of the
Amon
year.
Ra St. Brown.
Ain't no coach of the year.
Cooper Cup. I mean, it's a
Aaron
great team.
Donald.
Hell of a game of the week.
I mean,
So-
you're forgetting about Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
EJ
I'm watching this
Gardner-Johnson.
game for sure. I'm watching this
Secondary.
game for sure. Rams versus Lions, though. Who you guys got?
What?
I
I
got
got Rams.
Rams.
We just said
I'm
Rams.
Rams.
They
Not
said
everybody
Lions.
said. Not everybody said
Spencer and
Rams.
Wyatt said Lions.
I said Rams.
You guys said Rams.
Rams.
No, I have Rams.
That's what I'm saying. You and Trey said Rams.
Great minds think alike.
Perfect. Sounds good. And then finally, Eagles versus Bucks. Tough matchup because I
That
think
should have
the
been me.
it shouldn't be a competition, but
But
I
it's
really
not.
do think that the Eagles could easily be beaten by the Bucks. The Eagles they're by far, I think, the team that has literally stumbled and crawled and sat back down and rested and then got back up and crawled to the finish line. That's literally been the Eagles. At no point have they got any steam built up in this last 6-week span. They look horrible right now.
I have the Bucks off of one thing. How can you vote the Eagles?
It's true. They're at no point have they proven that,
God,
they're
dude.
going to figure it out.
They've been so bad the past 4 or 5 weeks, bro. You can't vote them.
It should have been Eagles Saints.
Well, then I would have picked the Eagles.
Oh no, I think honestly, I'm thinking Bucks here too. I mean, obviously, like, I came off right away this beginning of this year, I want Jason Kelsey to be able to win because I want him to end on because I think this is probably his last year. At the same time, though, they're not a good team right now. The team is not playing good. I think the Bucks have a higher chance of winning this thing than they do.
I think I'm still going Eagles.
Okay, they
don't
should.
trust the
I mean, they
Bucks.
should win. I mean, straight up, they should win.
I think this is a playoff team, and we've always known this is a playoff team. No matter what happens throughout the regular season, it happens. Whatever. This is a team that's going to be well focused going into the playoffs, and I think they're going to not re-dominate, but they're going to pull out this win.
Okay.
They're going to
You've
get
been
their shit
eating your
together a
you've
little
been
bit.
eating your words the past few weeks, but
I haven't been eating my words at all, obviously, according to my pick'ems.
might as well keep eating them.
Whoa.
Everybody's been picking against the Steelers the last couple weeks, so keep it coming.
You've been eating your own words when you keep saying the Eagles are going to
Non-
figure it out. Eagles are gonna figure it out.
All right.
How many more weeks?
Here we
Well,
are,
I got
Dan. We're about
I
to
got
see.
Bucks.
Let's figure
I
it
got-
out.
And I got Bucks to end this too. But yeah, I think that actually concludes the episode then, guys. Long one here, a little bit longer than normal. But yeah, don't forget to follow
Playoff
us, guys,
special.
on all of our socials. We have we're live on not live, but we do have TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. All Turf Talk with plural, Turf Talks 605. On all of those, give us a follow. Don't forget to like and subscribe in the video. Anything else, guys? Or are we calling it a day?
I mean, we're trying to post as much as
Super
we
Bowl
can.
prediction?
We got everyone working behind the scenes, grinding for video
Love it.
ideas. If you have any video ideas, comment down below. Let us know. Anything we can do.
Of course.
Trey, Super Bowl
Make sure you
prediction?
follow. Don't just like it. Hit the follow button, too.
Yeah, I see that a lot of you guys are actually unsubscribed and don't follow. You just
Oh.
kind of peek. You just kind of you got to show up for the freebie, and then you don't actually do your part and subscribe on the back end.
That's
So-
crazy.
Don't be like that. Don't
What
be
are you
like
doing?
don't be like Wyatt and just not following through on your part.
Stop it.
Get
Get some help.
some help. But yeah, let us know
Be a
your
person of your
Super Bowl
word.
predictions in the comments below. Really quick, guys, one by one, then we'll call it a day. Super Bowl predictions. Dalen, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Your opinion, go.
Ravens.
Ravens are winning it. Trey, who you got? Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Steelers.
All right. Wyatt, who's winning the Super Bowl?
Niners.
Okay. Spence?
Lions.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. That was
And
worse than mine.
Nope. You were serious. I wasn't.
Yeah, I was there.
I'm going Ravens too. Give me the Baltimore Ravens winning this year's Super Bowl. Let us know who you're going to win or who's going to win the Super Bowl in the comments below. That's been the episode, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. And peace.